Yeah, it's funny because, in a way, the Republicans have kind of gone over or gone after, all of the kind of niche groups that I really fit into. Like the moose raping thing. They sort of keyed in on that and the whole, like, they kind of got that, like, MILF thing, the MILF hunter thing, which I thought was kind of cool. Plus the, like, the whole, like, McCain's got that kind of dead hobbit kind of, smile and stuff. And so it's like, I was never really into, like, a Dungeon and Dragons thing, but I could imagine that he'd be, like, some sort of evil, like dead evil wizard in that. So I think that's kind of cool. And, so they did the whole, like, that Joe the Plumber thing, which I felt like really kind of went after the whole, like, tax dodging, part of my persona that I really kind of like, to hold on to. And, the Joe Six-Pack thing. I mean, I love to drink and, beat women as much as the next guy. So, in a way, they've almost cornered me. I mean, I was going to go for Obama for a long time, but the Republicans are kind of hemming me in with all these, like, super positive, like, things that they're doing and the people that they're supporting, and the niches happen to just really coincide with where my head's at. But, they haven't sealed the deal completely. I mean, they really need to get into a whole, like, kind of a drug thing, which they haven't really done yet that heavily. Although McCain's wife, has that whole, like, that kind of, like, ripping off, drugs from, like, especially from a nonprofit thing, which I thought was kind of hip, but they haven't really played that up in the press yet. When they really start, working on that angle, then, where else could I possibly turn? Drugs, animal sex, death dwarves, alcoholics, tax dodgers, and drugs. They're like the big six tickets on my item. Always when I'm shopping, man, those are the first 6 things I look for. Every election is the most important because, you never really know when, like, the Supreme Court people are going to keel over. And that's always, like, in a way, that's the most important thing that any president kind of does is propose Supreme Court people because, they got to get some pro-drug people in there. And they got to get some, like, young hipsters on there to sort of counter the young squares, sort of like that semi-young square thing that, like, Bush and his dad put in too. I mean, it's like, like a guy like Suit or something like that, like these guys, these sort of like rural intellectuals. That's what I'd be really into. Like Matt Valentine. Like, I've never even heard Valentine's name on a long list, but why not? Shortlist him. Get him in there. I mean, you don't vote for him, but I'd support him. I'd march on Washington. But, it's always the most important election. I mean, I've never not voted ever since I was 18, even if I had to do it by absentee ballot. Even if I had to vote for I lived in Idaho. I voted for Jello Biafra. And I voted for that guy, Dennis Perone, he was he ran as a drug dealer, which was pretty hip. And, Harvey Milk, all those guys. The debates have been, people have thought they're really boring, but to actually watch McCain, like, scutter around like some sort of weird, like, he's like, like a lobster boy, like wearing some sort of like, like horrible mummy costume. It's just, like, great. It's the most fantastic theater. Did you see the photo that Babcock had, the Reuters photo that Babcock had up on the Arthur site? Take a look at it on the Arthur blog site. They captured what I think is the most fabulous photograph of McCain kind of like with his tongue out, making a weird gesture. That guy just thrills me to the core. There's something about him that's so powerful and speaks to speaks to the evil wizard in me. I don't know how else to put it. He makes me feel powerful, like I can cast spells. It's magic. It's just magic.